What's up everybody? My name's Big Cam. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about the trailer for the exciting new series coming to FX in August called Alien Earth, extending this Alien franchise a little bit, and I think it might also be tying into the Predator franchise. If I'm not mistaken, you hear some Predator clicks in this trailer, and you know, maybe someone will say that those clicks are the alien, but I don't think we've ever heard the aliens click like that, like the Predators, you know? Like, we've heard them drool, we've heard them snarl, we've heard them, like, you know, make noise, but not like that. Like, you know, there's only specific things. But there's also, like, rumor has, like, that it's gonna have multiple different species, not just xenomorphs, so there might be some other alien species getting introduced in this series. That's gonna be nuts, but I think this is the appropriate show for the vibe for the summer, you know what I mean? Like, give us something spooky, but also, like, looks really good. So I'm like, damn, this is an FX show? This looks like it's got a pretty insane budget. Like, it almost looks as good as, say, Alien Romulus, but it's a TV show that's going to be on FX and Hulu. Like, wild. How much money did FX or Hulu put into this? Like, crazy. But they start off this trailer with like a 10-second countdown that flashes between a whole bunch of stuff. So let's jump right on into this trailer, shall we?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, so we see our main character at the beginning of that clip, and that, I believe, is a synthetic, where, like, you know, she was a person, but her consciousness got transferred into this synthetic's body. And this is set on Earth, and I believe it's 2 years before the original Alien movie, which I believe was set in 2122. So this is supposed to be like 2120, so roughly a century from now, you know, 95 years from now. And we also see shots of, like, what looks like the ship corridors with, you know, flashing red lights and, you know, nobody around, and, like, the cockpit lighting up, and it almost looks like 2001: A Space Odyssey the way it lights up. It says Alien Earth, official trailer, and then we see a face hugger jumping onto somebody's face, 3, and then we see a spaceship crashing through a building and into Prodigy City, I believe is what they're gonna call it. We'll figure out more as we go through this trailer. But, you know, you see some type of alien creature, maybe a xenomorph behind Nemec from Andor there, and then it cuts to black when it comes to 1. Like, that's only the first 10 seconds. That's nuts. 10, Nord, you know, like, whew, what a trailer. But on to the next portion of this trailer.
How's our girl?
She's ready.
You're gonna be the first person to transition from a human body to a synthetic.
Because I'm special.
That's right. You're very, very special.
Alright, so what is the deal with this girl here? We do see a scorpion, and she's got like a bald, oversized head, which may be just like the bald cap and like her real hair underneath. But, you know, what is with this child here? It looks like a child that maybe is like a cancer patient, or maybe, you know, just in this moment where I was sitting here watching this section of the trailer, I was like, maybe they gave her cancer, because I didn't like the way he was saying, "You're special, yeah, you're so special now. Come be a synthetic," you know, like, I don't know. I don't know if this guy's intentions are good. I don't know if he's trying to help her, or if he's just trying to help his company, you know, make synthetics, you know, and, like, I don't know. I think maybe this poor girl, you know, either is dying of cancer that they gave her, or she just got cancer, and that's why she has to now get her consciousness transferred into a synthetic, you know, much like David or Dennis Johnson, I believe is his name, or something like that. And he was just in Romulus, and I quite liked him. Andy, he was a good synthetic. And then there's, like, you know, the guy from the original one, Ian Holm, I think is the actor, who was passed, but they brought him back from Romulus. I don't know. That android was always weird. Michael Fassbender actually quite liked his android, because there was 2 of them, and every time you saw both of them on the screen together, you're like, are they gonna kiss? But yeah, so this young girl's getting her consciousness transferred into a synthetic. So we're gonna see how that happens, where we've seen synthetics, but we haven't seen how they became synthetics, you know what I mean? But so her eyes open up at the end of that as she's transferring her consciousness, holding hands with her synthetic body, and then the eyes open in the synthetic as she's now taken over this new body, presented by FX. On to the next portion of the trailer.
Spacecraft.
I want what's on that ship.
We can do it. We're fast, we're strong, we don't break.
Ooh, right? So Prodigy City, and we see, which has got to be what, a rival city to the other one, which was Neverland Research Island, and it does say Earth 2120, so 2 years before the original Alien movie. But yeah, pretty nuts that, you know, Prodigy City, this like rival company to Wayland, you know what I mean, type shit. Interesting. And it's like a spaceship crashes into these buildings, and we hear the guy say that he wants what's on that ship, and then at the end of that clip, we hear her say, like, we can go, we can't be damaged, you know, like, we're synthetics, send us. And we see Timothy Olyphant standing next to her there. I wonder if his character is also a synthetic or what his deal is, but I like Timothy Olyphant as a actor. But so they go out, she like sticks a sword to her back, maybe she's magnetic, you know, because maybe she's made out of metal or something. But at the end of that clip, you kind of hear some like clicking, which to me, I was like, that didn't sound like an alien. That sounded like, you know, more of a predator. Like maybe we see predators in Alien Earth, I don't know. Predators are technically aliens, no, but I don't know what the protocol is, if it has to be titled Predator for a predator to be in it. I'm not sure, but I do think between Predator Badlands and this show that they are trying to bring back together the aliens and the predators. But on to the next portion of this trailer.
It's like a zoo, but the animals got out.
This ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe. Monsters.
From creator Noah Hawley, and we do see like troops maybe getting attacked by some creature in the tall grass at the end of that clip, but I do love that we hear 5 creatures from the darkest parts of the planet, and then there's just like a blood trail, and I wonder if like the other 4 creatures don't escape and it's just the xenomorph that escapes, and then that's why it's like Alien is like the main title. But like we do see the guy describe them as monsters, each one of these 5 darkest creatures from the darkest corners of the planet, and they're all like alien species. So like we're gonna meet some different alien species in this. And then she looks at like a charcoal pencil drawing of like this human looking up at this giant monster. Like I don't know if that's supposed to be a xenomorph or not. Do xenomorphs have giant tails and red singular eyes in their forehead? Like, I don't know. That might be a whole nother type of dark creature that we're going to be seeing. But I don't know, man. This show so far, like, just from this teaser in this trailer, like, I'm like, you know, fascinated the fact that they're trying to bring in different species in like synthetics, and you know, obviously they get loose at some point and they start killing everybody. But it's also crazy to me that like they're on Earth, like they're not just in space dealing with these people. They're like, this is a little closer to home, you know what I mean? Like they're on this planet letting these creatures get loose. Like I don't know if that's a good idea in the future or not. God damn. But on to the next portion of this trailer.
Invasive species. Predatory.
Very interesting usage of words. In an invasive species, and they're predatory. I don't know, man. I think they might be bringing predators into this shit. If they don't, will that be terribly upsetting? Not really. I mean, as long as there's aliens in it, which there is going to be. But I love how, like, you just hear, like, the like that, you know, like almost alarm sound, but also like a scream noise, like of the death of space, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But we see, like, you know, maybe they're dragging a body through the river, and maybe a body on the ground in like this holding cell. But we see also a bunch of troops in like riot gear charging towards something, like a futuristic city with this guy on this crazy balcony and with a pool and on this rooftop. And I love this cut where it says, and it from executive producer Ridley Scott, you know, creator of Alien, or I don't know if he created it, but you know, he did the first one and has done other Alien movies, Ridley Scott, but they put that over a shot of an alien goat. And the only reason I say this goat is alien is because he says it's an invasive species, and then they cut to a shot of like the sheep backing up into a corner, and the sheep has 3 horns in its head, which, you know, some sheep rams have horns, but not like that. That looks like a little devil alien sheep or something, like the boys sheep that flies around and shit at the end, you know what I mean? Wild though that they're like bringing in these species, and one of them says O25-2. O25? So you're telling me maybe there's 25 of these species that they tried to capture, and this might be the second of this species? So maybe they have 5 species, but maybe they have multiple samples of each species. Oh no. Like, maybe this is the second species in the 25th sample of it. Like, that's dangerous. But it also, we see like an image of like a squid looking thing, and it's like a ball. It almost looks like a jellyfish squid octopus type of alien. But also kind of reminds me, because it has like eyeballs that we see later in the next clip, like in just a brief shot. So it also kind of reminds me of like the starfish Starro that like from James Gunn's Suicide Squad, if you guys know Starro from DC. I don't know. But on to the final portion of this trailer to wrap things up.
We don't lock them down, it will be too late.
Oh my god, what a wild trailer way to end that, you know, Oliphant, and you know, they like this tube opens and we just see like these tentacles start crawling out of it, and she like seems uncomfortable, like maybe there's something crawled into her head or something noises, you know, making her feel queasy. But then we see like these hard egg-shaped shells, which remind me more of like the xenomorph eggs, where like they hatch out of the egg type of thing from previous Alien movies. Yeah, we also see Nemec get a little bit of drool on his shoulder, and I don't know the character's name or the actor's name, but he played Nemec in Andor, and I'm sure we'll find out more about these characters and their names and stuff once the show starts and I start breaking this down in August. But yeah, it seems these aliens get loose, and there's a quick brief shot of one with the eyeballs, and like it's like a squid thing and it's crawling around, or maybe it just harvested those eyeballs from somebody and like that's what it eats, his eyeballs, I don't know. But we also see, you know, a quick shot of like Nemec's face from close up as like he's falling or something, and there's sparks flying throughout like the space pod. Oh my god, we see our main girl falling, and then we see a xenomorph climbing on the roof, a guy downloading his brain into something, one of those squid things hitting the window, a xenomorph jumping through a window and coming at Nemec here, and then it cuts to Alien Earth, and then it cuts to him, you know, getting drooled on over him, as, you know, poor Nemec is probably not going to survive this journey. But oh my god, what a crazy trailer. I was like, man, Alien Earth, if they bring Predators into this and they're trying to tie in between Alien Romulus, Prey, Predator Killer of the Killers, and Predator Badlands coming up, and Alien Earth, like between the Alien, the Predators, the Alien-verse Predators, like I think they're trying to bring these characters back together, especially with like the way that the trailer was looking for Predator Badlands. But like, dude, wow, oh wow, has 2 franchises really been like revitalized and like rebirthed in with this new energy, and like really, really good. The way, like, I loved Prey, I loved Alien Romulus even more. I loved the new animated Predator Killer of Killers that's on Hulu, which also this is going to be on Hulu in August. So I just find it very interesting that, like, a Predator movie's coming straight to Hulu, an Alien show is coming straight to Hulu, and then they're going to have probably more theatrical releases for Predator Badlands and the next Aliens movie, which I think is going to be a sequel with Kaylee Spaney and, like, you know, going to be an Alien Romulus sequel. And there is also Predator Badlands from that same director that did Prey, but I don't think Predator Badlands is a sequel to Prey, and he also has a sequel to Prey in the works in his mind, so that will be coming down the road at some point too with Amber Midthunder. I find that awesome. This trailer was great. Comment below your thoughts on the Alien Earth and what is your favorite Alien movie, or what is your favorite Alien vs. Predator movie. You know, which side are you on? I'm more of a Predator guy myself, but, like, are you an Alien or are you a Predator guy? Which, or woman, if you're ladies out there, how are you? Gorgeous. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below your thoughts. If you'd like to chat more Alien Earth with me, you can message me on my other social medias. Links down in the description below if you want to check those out. But the best way to support the channel, if you haven't already, is liking this video, commenting down below, subscribing if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell so you get the notifications and you don't miss future videos when they come out. Once again, my name is Big Cam, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace!